if there ever was an antichrist, that's what Jesus was.
Lil, you're live on the air. Please go right ahead with your question for Rabbi.
Hi, Rabbi Tovia. Big zechut to be on the phone with two big tzaddikim. I wanted to ask you, the Christians and the Muslims both have their own antichrist. So the Muslims think that Dajjal is theirs, and the Christians think that there will be an antichrist. So when the Mashiach comes, will there be a full understanding that this is the true Mashiach, like in Zechariah Chet, where we learn that 10 non-Jews will grab the shirt of a Jew? It doesn't make sense if you go by the Christian or the Muslim idea. It seems like they will be like maybe deferring this Messiah.
Yeah, I understand your question. It's a very cute question. I like it.
All right, go ahead and hang up now.
You're thinking it's a good question. So because the Christians, as an example, have a concept of the Antichrist, who now Christians have different views of the Antichrist, so it's not like the uniform. But I'm not going to go into why. Those who study this will understand why. So in the English language, the word Antichrist could be capitalized or not capitalized. I'm just not going to go into it now why that is the case. So, but I'm talking about the capitalized Antichrist, okay? That's mentioned in the epistles of John, that's referred to not by name, but is referred to in the book of Revelation and 2 Thessalonians. So the view is that there's going to be a person who's not a true Messiah, but rather a false one, who's going to build a temple, the Jews are going to worship him. And so your concern is, well, the coming of Mashiach is imminent. This is a very interesting question. And when Mashiach comes, please God, it'll be very, very soon. Everything is pointing in that direction. Will not the Christians then defer to, this is the Antichrist? The answer is no. No. Because when the true Mashiach comes, everyone will know the emes. Everyone will know the truth. The knowledge of God will cover the world as the water covers the sea. You quoted Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 23, the final passage. 10 Gentiles will grab the shirt of a Jew and say, Neilchi imochem ki shamanu Elohim imochem. Let us go with you, for now we know that God is with you. So you can be sure. Now, I'm not going to pretend to tell you how, but when the Beis Hamikdash, we see at the end of Yechezkel, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 26 through 28, 3 passages, that the building of the third Beis Hamikdash, which is going to take place very close to where I live, it says there openly, please read it for yourself, then the nations will know that I am Lord. The key, most central, most important feature of the coming of the Messiah is the universal knowledge of God and the salvation of the non-Jews, the redemption of the non-Jews. It's not an accident that the first prophecy in TaNaCh about Mashiach, that's obviously talking about Mashiach, was given by a non-Jew, Bilam, in his fourth oracle. So this is very critical. Now I'm going to say something very provocative, okay? Now I'm going to say something very provocative. I want you, but this is very deep, and I don't mean to offend. If you're a Christian and you're easily offended, I don't mean this to be offensive, but I thought about this a lot. But if you are easily offended, you should really just turn this off and do something different. It's going to sound offensive, but it's so striking, and this thought has been my companion for a little bit of time now. So I want to share it. I want to share it with you. This is very deep, so you have to listen very carefully. So you get it. So the Antichrist, and there's no such thing as an Antichrist in TaNaCh. That means as Mashiach comes, the whole point is there can't be any anti-anything. That means it's true, one point, because I know it's true there will be nations that will rise up against the Jewish people at the end of days as a precursor to the coming of Mashiach. That's definitely true, and it's all over the place. For the coming of Mashiach, the Jews will return to Israel, Jerusalem is liberated, nations will attack it. See Zechariah 8, Zechariah 12, it's Zechariah 4. It's all over the place. But they don't pretend to be a Mashiach. They're just nations that want to halt the redemption. And that unites the nation of Israel. But that's not an antichrist. So people sometimes ask me that. Don't be confused. An antichrist in Christian theology is, now this is the consensus, is that a false Messiah a pretender sets himself up to be the Mashiach, and the Jews fall for it and worship him. And the whole idea is, you can sniff this one out, is those damn Jews, they rejected Christ, but they're worshiping the devil because they believe the Antichrist, capital A, is the devil himself, right? So leave it to the Jews to be so spiritually blind that they reject the true Messiah, but worship a false Messiah who's really the devil. And therefore the Jews worship the devil. You could see what this does to the calm mind of a non-Jew. It makes them nutty. It makes them hate us. It produces Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens. I hope they repent. I really do hope they repent. I hope Tucker Carlson repents. But when they have these schemes about the Jews, that the Jews are plotting to subvert the world, that's where this all comes from. I pray that they repent. I pray that they'll do tshuva and they'll stop with these conspiracy theories. But these conspiracy theories are really well planted in Christian theology. Follow? You listen very carefully. And they have that same theme that the Jews really, we killed Charlie Kirk, we control, AIPAC, we're paying off everybody. It's like in no other country has the lobby in the United States. So the United States has no lobbying going on in other countries. As though the AARP, which I think is the largest lobby in the United States, right? Seeking out the benefit of the elderly, and the NRA, I think, is the second largest lobby in the United States. I think so, right? AIPAC is a lobby, so that means big lobby in the United States, which means people love their grandmothers and their guns in Israel. But the point is, this is always set up as the Jews are controlling, and we're just spiritually, it's not just blind with the devil, John 8:44. Say the devil's our father. So I want to tiptoe into something else. This is a little provocative, and it's a thought I've had. I can't possibly be the first person to ever thought of this. It doesn't matter, but I want to share something interesting with you. So the claim is about this Antichrist. So first, answering your question, we're closing that door. And that is that there's no such thing as an Antichrist. That's a dualistic idea. That is, Christianity is very at home in dualistic ideas. Let's forget that. It's not biblical. It means it's not from TaNaCh at all. It's opposed by TaNaCh. But there's I won't say it's an elephant, but it's sort of a hippopotamus in the room. Please don't be offended if you're a Christian. I'm not trying to be provocative, but this is just a thought. If there ever was an Antichrist, that's what Jesus was. So this is really a projection. See, what is Jesus? So Jesus was the one who the church came to say that he is the Messiah, and he's divine, and he's worthy of worship, but he's not the Mashiach, and he's certainly not divine. So it's interesting projection here. Now, again, not that there is an Antichrist. There's no such thing. This comes from Christian literature. It comes from 2 Thessalonians, which is possibly not actually written by Paul. It claims to be written by Paul. It comes from the book of Revelation. It definitely is talking about the Antichrist. It's written by a man named John. We don't know who it is. I mean, we don't know which John. It's a popular name. And it is in the epistles of John, which are written anonymously. We don't know. Christians think that it was written by John, the son of Zebedee. That's definitely not correct, but it doesn't matter. It's not germane. But this is a little sophisticated, and I don't know if you get it, but if you do get it, so we're walking in a kind of a dark place now. It's like really dark, but it's very intriguing. And that is that Jesus really is the Antichrist. Now, I don't mean that literally, because there is no Antichrist, but they're projecting it, because Jesus to the church really is someone who they insist is the Messiah, and he's divine, and they worship him and try to get Jews to do the same. And that's what the Antichrist is. I don't know if you get this, a very deep concept. So by saying there's an Antichrist, what they're doing is they're projecting their false belief onto the Jews. Because Jesus is exactly, he checks off all the boxes of the Antichrist. Do you follow what I'm saying? It's really mind-blowing. Isn't that dark? But it's true. The church sets up Jesus as a divine being and as the Messiah, whom they worship and do everything possible, including putting the sword at the throat of innocent people to get them to convert to it. And he's not the Messiah and he's not divine. So Jesus is, in essence, what Christians believe is the Antichrist, about who the Jews will one day worship. That will not happen. When the true Mashiach comes, the knowledge of God will cover the world as the water covers the sea, and there will no longer be filthy language in the world. Never. No longer the blasphemy of the church. Rather, all the nations will speak B'Safa Brura, in a pure speech. Zephaniah, who lived here in Yerushalayim, articulated those words 2,500 years ago. May we see the coming of the true Messiah quickly in our time.
Guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, go to Rabbi Singer's channel as well, and also don't forget his 2-volume book set, Let's Get Biblicals, Volume 1 and 2. The audio files are available, but the CDs are not, but they're available on his website.
The MP3. Let me say,
Yeah.
I want to just one other thing for you guys. Listen carefully. Pay no attention to that man. No, listen to me. It's so important. If you believe in the work that William is doing, that we're doing here, whenever you watch any of our videos, please like it and please share it. It's very important because it really affects the algorithm so that our videos are spread around. So really it's very, very important that whenever you see a video of William, a video of mine, it's very important to like it. I hope we like it.
Yeah.
But if you do, don't just pass it. Just make sure you like it and make sure that you subscribe to channels, because it really has a very big impact on spreading Torah throughout the world. It's very, very important. You should really go through our videos and make sure that those videos that you haven't liked yet, you do like them. It really has a very, very big impact on spreading this message. Anyway, shalom.
Yeah. And commenting on them also helps generate views as well, so it kind of refreshes them on the system. So,
Yeah.
Rabbi, thank you. Great show, and we'll see you, Hashem willing, same time, same place next week. Shalom, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
If you enjoy this channel and the content, and it has changed your life, or perhaps the life of a loved one or a close friend, would you please consider supporting this work? You can click this link and it'll take you directly to my website with the donate button. Or there's a Patreon link and a mailing address for snail mail if you would prefer. If you do donate, please do me a favor and leave me a phone number where I can contact you and thank you properly. I hope you all have a wonderful 2025. Shalom.